Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you about the front-end portal that we've created on openbeta.more.org for the Morpheus Compute Marketplace using the API gateway. So this page is just a very simple onboarding and configuration and authorization management system for the API gateway. You don't have to go through the Swagger UI. You don't have to go directly through the Morpheus Compute Marketplace. This kind of takes a lot of the actions that you need to perform and simplifies them in an easy to use portal. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to register and we're going to register an account. So we'll just call the name here test. For the email address, we'll just say integration@test.com. And for the password, we'll just type whatever. We'll create that account. So you'll see we're in here. Now we have the option to create our API key. So what we just did was by signing in and logging in, by creating an account and logging in, it actually made an API call to the API gateway and stored all of those variables and authentication keys locally for us to use right now. So we'll enter the key name integration and we'll create our key. And you'll see big pop-up. We can copy this key now. We're not going to be able to see it again, so make sure you store this somewhere safe. So after we create our key, we're going to want to set our automation settings. I explained a lot about the automation functionality in other videos, but more or less enabling automation will create all these sessions with providers and facilitate all the underlying infrastructure of the Morpheus compute node without you having to do anything. So when you send a chat completion request, this is going to create a session, connect with the provider, and really do all that work under the hood. So we'll type in our API key. We don't want to be able to set anything for someone else's API key, so there's just a little bit of authentication here. We'll submit it, enable the automation, and then we have a session duration for 1 hour, but normally we would do 1 day or a couple days. Let's just update those settings. We'll see they were updated properly. So now we have a properly working API key. We copied our key down, and now let's go use it just to test. So we'll go back to home. We'll go back into the testing screen. And we'll put in our API key, which automatically updates your curl request if you want to run this locally. We'll just say, tell us about AI. And now what's happening right now when I click that is it's executing this curl command, but it's running through the automation right now. So it's going and it's creating the session for us. It's sending the chat completion request, and now we're just simply waiting for the response. The first one that you make on a new API key is going to take a little bit longer than your follow-up request. So we'll see that this came through properly and it gave us the answer we need. Now, that's really it. We've seen that this works. You can plug in the base URL and the API key in any integration that you choose, and you're good to go. While I have you here, I'll just show you a couple other things in this site that might help along the way. So we also have a documentation tab, which shows how to create that key through the Swagger UI, how to identify all the models that are available in the ecosystem, and then just a general how to use the Swagger UI overall, as well as a couple integration guides that will help you along the way with whatever integration you're using. And this list will have many, many more items over the coming weeks. Last thing that I want to show you is a new chat interface that we created. So you'll see here that we have the ability to save our chat history. So if we go in, we want to chat about something, we decide we want to talk about something else, and we want to go back and continue a prior conversation. These chats are stored in a secure database that is protected by your API key. You can't see anyone else's chats. They're not, stored anywhere for anyone else to go and find. And you don't have to use it. You could just click the save chat history or not to save the chat history. And here we just can choose any model. We'll choose Mistral, which is the default, and we can chat right through here. So tell me about AI. And this is actually a different model, I believe, than we were using before. So it's going to take a second to create that session for the first time. And here we're just waiting for the response. So there we go. A little bit of formatting was done behind the scenes as well to make this easier to read. So we got a full answer here. and we can see it works. And then if we want to create a new chat, we can just create another one. Tell me about dogs. See, the chat is being sent. It's going through the system, connecting back to the provider, and coming back with our answer. There we go. And the last thing is, if we want to continue the conversation, we're going to go back to the Tell Me About AI. It's going to pull some of this from the database that's set up, and we can just continue if we choose to here. So that's really it. We wanted to bring something easy to use, easy to integrate, and something that our users are really going to enjoy. So thank you all.